Two countries, Bhutan and Nepal. In some ways, they're a lot alike. They both gaze upon the beauty of the Himalaya mountains, and they worship the same religions. However, 32 million people live in Nepal, while less than 800,000 call Bhutan home. And the differences go on. In both Bhutan and Nepal, we came home learning much about two places we knew very little about before touching down at Paro Airport. Our first stop for the night was Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. It's very small. There are no traffic lights, just traffic guards. We visit a memorial for a former king known as the Father of Bhutan. Here and in many places, you'll find spinning or prayer wheels. They are believed to reveal spiritual power into the world. The second temple, Buddha Dornema, is home to one of the largest seated bronze Buddhas in the world. As luck would have it, there was a festival going on. The event draws thousands and celebrates the birth, enlightenment, and death of Buddha, believed to have happened on the same day. It's common during this event to donate money, but this woman didn't have any, so she decided to prostrate herself in prayer more than 1,000 times and over many miles. It was time to leave the capital, so the following day we drove over Dakula Pass, one of Bhutan's most famous viewing points. Weather permitting, you can see the Himalayas, but weather was not permitting for us, but we did see some beautiful scenery and many prayer flags. They are everywhere. Prayer flags are used to bring good luck, ward off evil, and protect people, homes, and animals. Nearing our next stop, we hiked through rice fields to an interesting temple built by a saint known as the Divine Madman. We then visited a nearby nunnery, a place where females are trained to become monks. We talked to one and learned a lot about their daily lives.
To take care of the younger ones. Besides learning Buddhist philosophies, and not just only in the nunnery, they even have right to advise them as they go out from the nunnery, which are things that they accept as a nun, and things which are unacceptable being a nun. So they keep advising.
What a great place to visit on a trip. The Temple of Happiness. It was built in 1637 and is both a religious and administrative center of Bhutan. We arrived on a special day of celebration. The calendar puts this as Buddha's actual birthday in Bhutan. Hundreds, young and old, and in their finery, came out to celebrate and mark the big day. Even the supreme leader was there. And many monks. It was time to say goodbye to Banaka and put Thimphu behind us and head to Paro, where we had landed at the airport. We did have a chance to try to see the Himalayas another time, and we had a little bit more luck. Traditional dancing and singing in Bhutan are essential parts of the country's cultural and spiritual life. Once back in Paro, we were treated to a performance. Early the next morning, we headed to a trailhead at the bottom of Paro Valley to begin our 7-mile hike to Tiger's Nest Monastery. The challenging hike starts at around 9,000 feet and climbs to 11,000. If you don't want to go all the way to the top, you can ride a horse or walk halfway to a stopping point to take in the views. Either way, halfway or all the way, you'll have to hike down. I'm proud to say I made it to the top, and you betcha I bought a t-shirt, a white one. Hot stone baths are a tradition here, and it felt terrific that afternoon. Our last stop before leaving Bhutan was an old fort, perched high in a mountain. It was here that we learned a little about reincarnation, which is deeply rooted in Buddhist belief. At the fort, we had a view of the king's palace, and then we were on our way to Kathmandu, Nepal. It sits in a large valley, so altogether about 3 million people live in this area. The star attraction in Nepal are the Himalayas, pronounced here as the Himalayas. And of course, Mount Everest is well known as the highest mountain in the world. It sits at 29,032 feet and straddles the border between Nepal and Tibet. On the ground in the outskirts of the capital is one of the largest and most significant Buddhist stupas in the world. Its massive white dome is adorned with the all-seeing eyes of Buddha. In Kathmandu, we met with a local woman who told us all about what it's like to get to the very top. And she shared pictures of her accomplishments. She tells an incredible story. Ever want to meet a goddess? Here lives a 12-year-old girl who, according to the Buddhist religion, is one. Her official title is Kumari. Kumaris are retired young, in their early teens. We met a former one who told us what it's like to no longer be considered a goddess. We then walked over to Durbar Square. It's a historic plaza near the old royal palace. It showcases a number of traditional temples, shrines, courtyards, and statues. We didn't know we were going to run into a parade. It was all a celebration for the birthday of Buddha. A short plane ride took us to the historic city of Pokhara. From there, we hiked through the Annapurna Valley to a rural lodge. We had some help from some local women who carried our duffel bags. The hike takes us through a village and some beautiful scenery. From the front porches of our rooms, we could see two important peaks, Annapurna South and Fishtail. Grand Circle Foundation financially supports the school that we walked to the next day. We met some of the children, the principal, and learned about how important English is to learn at this school. We even got to tutor them a little bit. My husband is a retired accountant, so he helped with math.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48.
What is it like to live in a remote village overlooking the Himalayas? We had the opportunity to see scenes of daily life, including winemaking, knife sharpening, and farming. Only 85 people live here, some in small one-room homes with dirt floors. We had a lot of fun. We were treated to lunch, and then the boombox came out and some dancing started. Then we were off to a new adventure, rafting the Seti River. About halfway down, we stopped at a lodge where we went glamping for a couple of nights. An optional hike took us to the Karhari village, home to around 150 members of the Garung Hill tribe, who primarily work as farmers. Check out this loaded bus, and we think flying coach is bad. A second day of rafting took us close to Chitwan National Park. Chitwan is the oldest national park in Nepal. The ecosystem is diverse here with hills, mountains, forests, and grasslands. 75 years ago, it became a national park. It had been a hunting spot for Nepal's prime ministers. On our final night, we were treated to some local traditional dancing, and then it was time to head back to Kathmandu. With one last stop in Kathmandu to the most sacred temple of the Hindu god Shiva, it was time to say goodbye to a fantastic trip. Until next time,